Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Maya, and in today's video, we're filming in the living room again. Hasn't seen this in a while. I am home. My brother's at a doctor's appointment, so I'm going to be doing my wrap up today. My June wrap up. Yep, that's the month. I read, I think like 22 books in June. Where's my little, I brought my bullet journal out today because I still don't know how to put photos on videos. So instead, I'm going to be showing you my pictures on my bullet journal so that you can actually see what the book looks like this time. I read 22 books in June. I am going to be doing a bullet journal video actually, I think, of my halfway through the year wrap up. It's not going to be pretty because like I did skip parts of this. Like I just stopped doing it at one point, but I'm going to be going through every book that I read in June. So these aren't in order, so this is gonna be hard for me. I'm gonna have to like start pulling out. I put them up for the thumbnail and I put them in like size order. Difficult decisions. Okay, so I started the month with it was the reading my physical TBR video was my first video of the month. No, wait, no, that's wrong. I'm lying to you. The first video that I filmed this month was the ending of my 24-hour readathon. Yep. And I read the last 3 volumes of The Paper Girls. You can kind of see them here. There's volume 4, 5, and 6, and I gave them all 3 stars. And those were very good. It's kind of hard to talk about them because like they are, I don't know, they were very confusing. They did kind of feel like middle school boys came up with this story. But they were written nice. I liked them. They're little graphic novels. There are 6 of them all together. And they're about these girls who are paper girls. They're delivering newspapers one morning and they run into this like weird creature and then a bunch of weird stuff starts happening. And it's very much sci-fi and like almost not even fantasy, just kind of sci-fi. And it's a little spooky at times, but like not really. You know, like I never actually felt like these people's lives were in danger, but it was fun. And I really liked it. So that was a fun little pickup at the library when I saw it. And yeah, I highly recommend it. Go, if you need just something chill, go read it. It's cool. And then we did my reading my physical TBR video. And for that video, I read 3 books. I will just grab all 3 of them right now because it's the easiest way to do this. So I read Sunset Beach by Mary Kay Andrews. This book made me really upset when I got it because look at how big it is. It's like 500 pages long, I think. Yeah, it's 500 something pages long. It was my second shot at Mary Kay Andrews because I read The Santa Suit by her in December. Finished it, I think, at the beginning of January because I got in a weird reading slump in December. But I read this as my redemption because I liked The Santa Suit, but I felt like it needed more. Like, I felt like it wasn't done enough. I felt like she put it into too small of a book and she didn't finish stories. So this one I was hoping would give me that because of how big it is. And it did. I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars. Yeah, I gave it 4 stars. And it was really cool. I will say there's less romance. There's not really romance in this book. Like, it is very little romance. There's some in the beginning, and then the rest of it just happens at the very end, like all the way back here. The whole middle of this book, mystery. They're solving mysteries. 2 of them. Solving 2 mysteries. So, if you want to hear my thoughts more so on this book, you can go watch my reading my physical TBR video, but 4 stars. I'm trying not to shake the camera when I put the books down. That's not going to work. It's inevitable. Oh, also I listened to that on audiobook. I figured I should probably say that. I did listen to parts of it on audiobook to help me get through it quicker. And then I read When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. I read this also for the reading my physical TBR video. It got a 4 stars also. This video ended up being pretty good. I gave good ratings like throughout the whole thing. None of them were like my favorite reads ever, but they were all good. And so this got 4 stars, and it is about a little town in, I think, Brooklyn, and people start leaving, but they're supposed to be moving, but the whole question is, are they actually moving? And that's all I'm going to give you. I really liked it, but again, my in-depth thoughts are in my reading my physical TBR video, but 4 stars. And I do want to give more of her books a try, I think. I think she has some romance books, and I want to give them a try. And then we had It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I got It Starts With Us, but I hadn't read this, so I had to read this first. I read the first part of it for the Reading My Physical TBR video, and then I read the second part of it for my Stopping My Screen Time with Reading video. So, my in-depth thoughts are in those two videos connected, but I liked it, actually. This was my first Colleen Hoover book, and I know that these books right here, this one and It Starts With Us, are the almost most okay books that people say from her, I think. But I want to give all of her books a try, as many as I can. Obviously, there might be one in there that just throws me off, and I'm like, no thank you. But this was a good start. I gave it 4 stars. I really liked the characters, and I really want to read the second book. So maybe I'll get to that this month. Maybe I won't. I'm not sure. But it was a very good book. Also, I really like how you can feel the flowers on this book. It makes me so happy. And then I filmed, that was the beginning of my Swapping My Screen Time with Reading challenge. So then I read, I don't have the volumes that I read, but I have other volumes because I'm reading them this month. So I read Yona of the Dawn. These are in no order at all. I read Yona of the Dawn, volumes 1 and 2. And I have volumes 3, 4, and 5 here because like I'm reading them now. And these were the volumes that the library had up to. They didn't have 6, so, you know, I just got the next ones. I really liked it. I'm intrigued to see how it continues, though, because I'm very confused at this very moment. It kind of seems like everything's happening and nothing's happening at once. So, but it is like a 30-something volume, 40-something volume series, so gonna have to get into that. I don't even know how to give you a story without spoiling stuff, so just if you're interested, go read it. And I got that recommendation from Katie's Reading because like she read all of them and is obsessed with them and read and watched the TV show and everything. So I wanted to try it out. And then I read The Girl from the Sea, which I have right here. Right there. The Girl from the Sea. I read it and I gave it, I gave the Yona of the Dawn books 3 stars each. And then I gave The Girl from the Sea 3 stars. I feel like it's kind of weird whenever you see 3 stars are the hardest rating for everyone in the book community. For me, 3 stars is a good book. Like it's a good book. Like I enjoyed my time reading it, but it's not memorable necessarily. 4 star is I loved the book. It was great. It's just something about it didn't give me 5 stars. And then 5 stars is obviously like I typically don't give books 5 stars unless they give me that feeling. Like there is something in my chest that tells me, no, this is a stinking 5-star read. Like I could start from, there's a book in this pile that I could start from the 2nd page and I'm obsessed with it immediately. You know, like that kind of thing. So 3 stars is good for me. And especially for like a graphic novel with like not much in it, 3 stars is pretty good. So The Girl from the Sea, it is a cute little summery sapphic romance and I really liked it and I highly recommend it. I don't really know how to tell much about graphic novels when like they're so short, so like the whole story is there and you're kind of spoiling it. It's a cute little, it's kind of fantasy-esque, but highly recommend. You should go read it, especially like during summertime. It's really nice. I loved it. And then I read Delilah Green Doesn't Care right here. I do not have it either because it was a library book and I gave it 4 stars. So that one is about Delilah Green who doesn't care. No. Why did I do that? Okay, no. So it's about Delilah Green, who is a photographer. She's trying to make it in like New York, I think, and be like big in the photography business, but she's having a really hard time doing it. And she has to go back to her hometown, which she hates, for her sister's wedding, to go take photos for her sister's wedding. She's getting paid for it, so like she's doing it because she needs the money. So she goes. And in this town, there's her sister and her sister's group of friends she used to hate growing up because they were mean to her. And there's a lot of like friendship and family drama in this book. And then also the love interest is Claire, who is one of Delilah's sister's friends. And she is a single mom. So there's a single mom in it, and there's photography, and there's family drama, and I loved it. And I can't wait to pick up Ashford Parker Doesn't Fail, and then Iris Kelly Doesn't Date is coming out in October, I think. So, very intrigued. Really can't wait. I was gonna say really can't look forward to. Really can't wait, and I'm really looking forward to the next books in this series. So, highly recommend. And then I read a physical book, The Game, which was on my TBR for June. I did not finish my TBR, but I read this. This is the first book that was on my TBR that I read, but I read it. I'm debating on if I'm keeping this book or not. I think I'm not going to, but I did give it a 2.5 stars. So I feel like there was nothing wrong with this book. I just didn't love it. Like, you know, it just didn't have enough in it for me. It was too quick. I felt like I guessed things, although I didn't guess the main. No, I did. I guessed the main thing, like about halfway through. I guessed the main plot twist halfway through. And like the characters I could not connect with at all. I hated the main character, honestly. So I don't know. I didn't really like it that much. But it is a fun little time passer or mystery though. So like I did enjoy my time reading it. I just didn't like the main character. And I guessed the plot twist. But the cat has come to me now. She's realized that I'm in here and not in my bedroom. And then I read, where is it? Right here in front of my face. Wonder by R.J. Palacio. This book I gave a 3.5 stars. I started giving my points about halfway through the month, but this book I gave all of these books so far have been in my swapping screen time video too. So like more thoughts are there, but this book I gave 3.5 stars. I liked this book a lot. It did make me cry at one point, and I can't wait to watch the movie. But I'm not gonna really give a synopsis of this because I don't know how to give a synopsis of this book. It's about this little boy who has a condition he was born with a facial difference, and he goes to middle school for the first time, and it's him dealing with that. And there's a lot of bullying in it, and there are some triggers in it, so like warning, but I really liked it, so highly recommend it. I've had this for years, and I'm so happy that I finally got to it. And then I read Funny Feelings, or I finished Funny Feelings. I had started it last month. Where is it? Right there. I read Funny Feelings by Tara DeWitt? I apologize. I read that book. I started it last month. I finished it this month. I loved it. It's weird. I loved it in the beginning, and then about in the middle, it went downhill, and then in the end, I loved it. So I feel like they got together too quickly, in my opinion. I feel like they confessed to each other way too quickly, and everything just moved way too fast, that it was kind of hard to connect to their characters fully and their romance fully. But I feel like it was a good book. Like, I gave it 3 stars. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I want to read more of her books too. So it's about, I can't remember the girl's name, a female comedy artist and her manager, who used to be a comedy person, and he's the single dad, and she's going on tour, and it's a fake dating trope, you know? So I love fake dating, so I was very looking forward to it, and I feel like they got together way too quickly for me. But other people might love it much more than me, and I feel like her writing was very good. Like, I actually enjoyed her writing style, so that's why I want to pick up more books by her. I just didn't enjoy that one that much. And then we had my first reread, I think it's my second reread of the year. Yeah, because I read Shatter Me. But I read The Inheritance Games, and I annotated it. I'm still not done. I need to go through and underline things and like pen and use highlighters and all the fun stuff. But I annotated it. I love this stinking book so much. The Inheritance Games has a special place in my heart. It was the first book series that I read going into my book stuff last year. Like, I started reading for real last year. I read 22 books, and this one and We Were Liars are the two that got me into stinking reading. So I have a whole special place in my heart. This will always hold that place. And the 4th book is coming out in August, and so I wanted to read this. It was on my TBR also, but I wanted to read this last month, and then I just finished The Hawthorne Legacy this month, and then I'm going to read The Final Gambit either at the end of this month or in August, right before the book comes out. But I'm rereading them, annotating them completely, and I had a singing blast. This is about Avery Graham's who gets a letter, or no, who gets, she gets an inheritance from this dude that she doesn't know. This rich dude dies and he gives her his inheritance, all of it. Basically doesn't give his family much at all. And so now it is her and his grandsons trying to figure out why she was given the inheritance. And it's so fun. Like, I love this stinking thing, and I highly recommend everyone please go read it, like right now, please. I beg you. Loved it. It did get 5 stars, obviously. All 3 books got 5 stars, right? Yeah, I think all 3 books got 5 stars. I think book 2 is my favorite, honestly, out of all of them. I think book 3 is my least favorite, but I think that's how it is typically. The 3rd book is always my least favorite because it's like the ending. But then I listened to a Dowry of Blood. Yep, right there. By, I think it's S.T. Gibson, maybe. It's 3.5 stars. I liked it. It was very confusing for me. It's definitely not my type of book, but I did enjoy it, and I did enjoy the characters. And I liked the audiobook actually a lot. It's about Dracula's bride. And yeah, it was fun. I recommend. It was a very quick listen also. It's only got like 3 parts. Which, the 3 parts are pretty long, but like it's not that bad. I really enjoyed it and I highly recommend it. I don't really know how to talk about that one either without like spoiling a ton of stuff because the main plot is like spoiled, but I liked it a lot. And I also then read The Encore of Roses right here, which is the tiny little novella. It's a 14-page digital novella, like you can find it on her website. And I gave it 3 stars. It was only 14 pages, but I liked it a lot. It was from a different character's point of view, and it was fun. And then I read my first official 5-star, because like The Inheritance gives us 5 stars, but I already gave it 5 stars, like last year. This one was my first new 5 stars, and that is The Love Wager by Lynn Painter. Now, whenever I read this, I didn't realize that there was a book before it, and that made me so upset. So now I need to go buy the first book and read it. This is the book that I was talking about, that on page 2, I started underlining stuff. And I underlined, so if I can find it, I started underlining right here on page 2. There are some pages in this book that are completely underlined, like the whole entire page needs to be highlighted. I love this book. I love the characters. I love their banter. The banter is what got me. Like, their personalities together was hilarious. And they did add fake dating, and that made me so happy. Like, I was reading it, I was like, I love this stinking book. And then, like, right about here, they added fake dating, and I was like, yep, love it even more. It's amazing. It is kind of a slow burn, not gonna lie. Like, they do have a one-night stand in the very beginning of the book, and then it's slow burn from then on out until the very end, and I loved it. And it's basically these 2 people, they have a one-night stand at his sister's wedding, and then they go their separate ways, and they end up meeting on a dating app, and then they make a bet on who can find love first. And it was adorable, and I love stinking Lynn Painter. I can't wait to pick up the rest of her books. Like, I loved better than the movies, but this book, top tier. Go read it right now. Drop everything, stop the video, go read it. And then I read Indigo Ridge. This is all still for my swapping screen time video, by Devney Perry, and I gave it 4 stars. I really liked it. I really loved the murder mystery romance. Like, that made me so happy. And I do really want to pick up the rest of the series. But this one, I can't remember characters' names ever. This one is about a girl who goes to her own old small town where her grandpa lives. He's the mayor. She is the new police chief. The town doesn't really like that. They're not that happy with a new girl coming in who doesn't know them and being the police chief. And then there's the Edens, who are like they almost run the town, even though her grandpa's the mayor. They kind of run the town. They own like a hotel and a bakery and a restaurant in the hotel, and they own this giant ranch. And the oldest brother runs this ranch, and it's a love story between them. And they find a body on the ranch, and now she has to investigate in it. I loved it. It took me for twists and turns. I did not guess the plot twist until like the very end, like right before it happened. Maybe 5 chapters before it happened, and I freaking loved that. It was so good. Actually, no, I didn't even guess the plot twist at all. I guessed half plot twist. It was amazing. Go read it. I love Debbie Perry so far. This is the first book I've read by her, but I cannot wait to pick up the rest of her books. Like, so excited. I want to read the whole Eden series, all the siblings. Like, I'm so excited. And then we read, I think is this stuff for the same video? No, this is 24 Hour. Yeah, so I began that in the swapping my screen time, and then I finished it in the 24 Hour. And then this is the first book that I started in the 24 Hour completely. Red, White, and Royal Blue. I wanted to read this because it was Pride Month, but also because, I don't know, it just gave me summer vibes. And like, I could have saved it for this month because like Red, White, and Royal Blue, but I loved it. It was really cute. I gave it 4 stars. I have debated since giving it 4.5 stars, but I'm gonna leave it at its 4. I think it was a really good book. I highly recommend it. It is about the first female president's son and the Prince of England. And they have a little enemies to lovers kind of romance. There's very little enemies in this book. And I love their little banter, and it was nothing as I expected. I honestly thought this book was them like going and being forced to stay in a cabin together. Don't ask me where I got that idea, but I did. And that is not what it is at all. Like, they are not, there's like one scene in this book where they're in cabin. So, but highly recommend. Casey McQuiston, I have read 2 of her books and I've given them both 4 stars. So can't wait to read her 3rd book. I think it's the last book that she has that I haven't read. I think. Let's see. I can't figure that out. It's not in here. Okay. Well, I think I only have one last stop and that's it. So can't wait to pick that one up, but I loved her. I love her book so far, and I love the characters and all the side characters too. I loved them, so highly recommend. Go read this book. And then I read The Cat's Gone. Happy Place by Emily Henry. This is my first Emily Henry book. I got a lot of first big authors in this month, which was very fun for me, and I didn't have any major flops. Actually, I didn't have any flops. I liked every book I read except for maybe The Game, but The Game even was like not bad. Like, I enjoyed it, enjoyed my time reading it. It was a fun little palate cleanser between all of these books that I read. But Happy Place by Emily Henry is about Harriet and Wynne, who have been dating for years, and then they break up, but they don't tell their friends, and they go on this beach trip every summer with their friends, and they didn't tell their friends. And so Harriet is supposed to go and tell them. And Wynne is supposed to stay home. They decided that he was going to stay, not go on the trip, whatever. She was going to go. And then he's there. And now they have to pretend like they're together because of some circumstances that are happening. And this is their last summer in this house because one of the characters' dads is selling their beach house. So I really liked it. It almost made me cry at the end. I did love the characters. I related, like, even though I'm only 19, I related to Harriet's character so much. And, like, I am so excited to read the rest of her books. I own Beach Read, I think. I think that's the other one that I own by her. And I'm going to pick that up soon, hopefully. Possibly this month. I'm really hoping I can get to it this month, but we'll see. And then I listened to Maggie Moves On by Lucy Score. It was my first Lucy Score book, and I gave it 4 stars. It was a very cute read. I stinking loved it. It was so close to 5 stars for me, to the point where if I was physically reading it, it might have been 5 stars. And I want to buy it, and I want to annotate it because, like, I loved it. I loved the characters. I loved the concept of it. The stinking dog, love him. He's the sweetest dude in the world. There are kittens in it. But she is she's a house flipper. She goes around and she flips houses. She has a YouTube channel where she has tons of subscribers, like 900,000 subscribers. And she goes to this town and she's doing her biggest renovation yet. And she meets this town's people. She has a history with this town and she meets some of the people, and the landscaper is very flirty and very adorable, and I love him, and they have a little romance, and I highly recommend it. Like, please go listen to it or read it or whatever. I loved it, and I can't wait to pick up the rest of Lucy Score's books, but like, that one was so sweet. I loved every part of it. Loved it. There is drama, there is family, there is found family. She let so many people into her house, and like I loved it. The found family aspect of this book is so great. Go read it. This video is getting long. I apologize. And then my final book of the month that I read was When in Rome by Sarah Adams. I give this a 4-star. This is my first Sarah Adams book too. So again, a lot of first authors. This is the first book in her series. I don't know what the series is called. I think it might just be When in Rome. The second one is Practice Makes Perfect, and I own that one too, and I want to read that this month, maybe. Again, I don't know if I'm going to read all these books that I want to read this month, but this one is about Amelia Rose, and she is a singer. She's supposed to be going on tour soon, but she wants a break. So she watches a movie, When in Rome, and decides that she wants to go to Rome, but she can't go to Rome. So she goes to the closest Rome to her, which is in Kentucky. And she breaks down in someone's front yard, and he helps her, and he lets her stay with him begrudgingly. And there is a cute little grumpy sunshine romance, and he owns a pie shop. And he has 3 sisters, and his grandmas, basically, because this old lady in the town is basically his grandma. Is she biologically related to him? No, but she is his grandma. And I love them for it, and the town is so close, and I loved it. Highly recommend it. Please go read it. Please go read all of these books, honestly. Like, look at this stack. Hopefully it doesn't fall over. I loved them all. I highly recommend them. Almost all of them. Maybe not the game, but like, again, it was a fun little mystery. Maybe read it around Halloween. It was chill. I didn't say what it was about, really. It's about assassins. Like, they play assassins, but people actually start dying. Yeah, so that is my June reading wrap up with my bullet journal. I guess I could go over a little bit of my statistics. I don't usually do this, but I read 22 books, 4,891 pages, 8 physical books, 4 ebooks, 3 audiobooks, and 7 library books. So, and I don't really want to go over the genres because there were a lot. Mainly graphic novels and romances. But thank you guys for watching, and if you stayed all the way to the end, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and comment down below if you loved any of these books, if you read any of these this month, and also what your favorite book of the month was that you read, because maybe even your least favorite, you know, just tell me what's your favorite and least favorite. My favorite was probably either the Inheritance Games or the Love Wager, and my least favorite was The Game. But comment down below what your favorite and least favorite books of the month were, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!